So out here, we are testing the car. We're testing it in the snow, we're testing it in the cold. We've got super low sub-zero temperatures, we've got really low humidity, and it's another environment to prove the various systems and ensure that these will all work for when it gets to the customer. There we go. Ready for another day of testing. It's cold today.
What's the coldest you've seen so far?
Minus 31 so far.
Oh, chilly.
Yeah. So when we're testing, even when it's minus 30 occasionally, we have the windows down. Obviously, no customer is going to drive in minus 30 with the windows down. But if you can't hear a brake squeal with the windows down, you definitely can't hear it with the windows up. Whenever you press the brake pedal and you're using the friction brakes, what happens is the brakes squish against the disc and it's like rubbing, it's like making friction and warming yourself up. By using these sensors, we can see how hot do they get. And when we hear a squeal, how hot were we when we got the squeal? And then we know where do we target our development.
But stuff like that you're never going to get rid of.
You can work on. It's the issue of physics.
Yeah.
So we have microphones inside the wheel and inside the cabin. There might be a squeal that our kit says you've got a problem here, but actually if the cabin mic can't hear it and we can't hear it, it's not a problem that we have to worry about focusing on. It's all about the customer, the end user, not about chasing developments that don't benefit the customer at the end of the day. We need to test all these potential eventualities, the absolute worst case a customer could do.
So I think with a lot of it, the biggest issue for us in doing the brake testing is mainly the damage to the instrumentation. So with the rain, maybe are we going like into the rain now?
I think we are. This feels way worse. There's absolutely no way we can test in this.
No. You can hardly even see.
No. The visibility is too dangerous to try and maintain our test speed coming back down. I think we'll get Steve to give everything a bit of a once-over, check the instrumentation.
Yeah.
We get in.
Steve is not going to be happy with us when we get back.
No, I don't think he's going to like how wet it's got.
So I think when we got to the toll, it was looking okay. So we thought we could carry on with the test. But just the further up we got, the visibility got really bad. The rain kept going, and there's loads of standing water on the road.
So we've got a bit of water in the sensor?
Yeah, so I think we've just got to check all the sensors to make sure they're okay.
Well, that ain't good, is it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Let's send it up and...
So what I'm worried about is the joint here. You can see that we've covered it as best as we can to try and protect it, but it's not foolproof. And we've got them on all four corners. So what we're going to do is, so Emily's got it set up on the screen at the moment, so she can see everything that's coming through on the sensor right now. Seeing anything, Emily?
If that's 2, no.
You're not seeing anything?
No. Yeah. That one's good.
Is it? Ah, we fixed it. So that has worked its way loose a little bit, but water's not got in because it's coming up on the system. We've got one spare. We can check in the morning. The good news is the other 3 are working. So it's not as bad as it could be. Right, I think we'll come down, let the car dry off overnight.
Yeah, the right front looks like it's working again.
So I guess ultimately this is all for the brake fluid, isn't it?
Yes, this is ultimately a brake fluid torture test. So we're going to get the brakes, drag them, so you give them no chance to cool down. So everything in the wheel well, really hot soaked. That's why we've got the covers on the wheels.
Yeah, okay.
So it's the worst case for us, because once we stop, the fluid temps will continue to rise. If the car's the wrong fluid in it, and you get to the bottom, you'll boil your fluid and you'll lose your brake pedal. So it's quite an important test for a consumer, but we should be fine.
Well, there's nothing that a consumer is going to be more worried about than losing their brakes.
Yes, on a mountain road. Yes.
Really? Anyone who buys such a high-performance car, get to the bottom of the mountain and lose your brakes. It's not they're not a happy chappy.
We go and do the extremes, so the customer should be fine.
Yeah, it feels extreme.
Yeah, 32 degrees at the base. I think it's about 15 up here.
Very windy.
Shorts are now I'm regretting, but down at the bottom we were hot.
brake fluid's got hotter than it has previously, 190.
550 degrees, I think we got on the brakes, which is why it's smoking. The aim is not to make it smoke. The aim is to do several use cases, the customer use cases, and then the extreme ones. And we know the car still got down okay.
I like the pinging. Jeez.
I think especially when you buy a car like this, you expect a certain level of performance. In the customer states, we don't get that hot. Regen off, in an emergency situation, we get hot, but we're still okay. We're still within design parameters. So we tried to cover every variation within it.
If you compare this to a competitor benchmark that we did for a performance test, where after 3 stops, we were getting big warnings.
Yep.
After 6 stops, we lost all stability control, we lost regen.
Yeah, and this is
And
fine.
so far, we've seen the car's fine.
It's been really good. What we thought on paper was a really good system, and it turns out it is in practice.
I always, much to probably your annoyance, compare it to if you start with really good ingredients, it's not that hard to season it.
No, it's very true.
And that was something really nice at the end.
Yeah, no, that's true. And
As much as I relate everything to food.
yes. So it's exciting to get to drive stuff like this, and everyone crowds around you when we get to the top. What is it? What is it? When's it coming out? When can I buy one? So it's a privilege. Not many people get to do it, and that's a nice side to the job. But you kind of forget when you're in the daily grind of it, and then sometimes you sit back and go, that's really cool.